Hello. Today we're going to go over some basic login information and how to set your goal in NeoEd Perform. You'll go to the My MCCKC login here. It will either take you to your screen or have you log in. Take a second while we log in here. Of course, we have our Duo Mobile. This will bring you to your portal. I have the NeoEd card here because I have been using it. If you scroll down and you don't see the NeoEd card in your home page, what you'll want to do is come to View All Cards, type in NeoEd, and then you can bookmark it here, which I already have done, so then it will show up on your home page. Because we have a single sign-on, all you'll need to do is select this box, and it will bring you to your dashboard. So here you'll see your basic NeoEd dashboard. Now, NeoEd has many functionalities. We have people, performance, training, onboard, report, and of course, our home and our tasks. Today, we're only going to focus on performance, also known as perform, which is how we set our goals and how we complete our IAPs. As time moves on, we will launch these other aspects of NeoEd as well. But for now, we're simply going to select the performance, and this will bring you to your perform dashboard. So this is how you set your goals, where you will see your IAPs, and you'll facilitate this process. The first thing we're going to focus on, of course, is just setting goals. So the best way to do that, and the way that we recommend doing that, is to go over here to our goal dashboard. So you're in Perform. This is your Perform portal, and you'll select Goal Dashboard. Here on your goal dashboard, as there's nothing, obviously, because we haven't said anything yet, but as time goes on and as you set goals, you will live here in your goal dashboard. Now you'll see under here we have current goal process. There are different categories for goals, but the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is set our goal. So we're going to come up here to add a goal. You can set a goal from the library. There'll be goals that were already labeled and set for you. For now, we're going to focus on setting our own goals, so setting a new goal. And this will walk you through it step by step. So our goal name is going to be a goal name. I'm not going to set a specific goal. Goal name goes here. You're going to put your goal due date. Your goal should always have a due date. So let's set one for the end of this semester. And your category, it's whatever your category is. So if this is a team goal, you would select team goal. If it was organizational, department, MCC strategic goal, most of the ones that individuals set will be an individual goal. So you will assign it to yourself. If you're a manager, you would select this icon here, and you could type in a name of a person that you supervise, and you might be able to set a goal there. But for now, we're just going to assign it to ourselves. And then your SMART goal description goes here. And I want to spend just a second to talk about what a SMART goal is. Goals must be specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, or relevant, and time bound. So your goal needs to be specific enough so that you know you've achieved it. So that's S, specific. Measurable, we can't just say improve something. It needs to be a measurable metric. So maybe a percentage increase, a percentage decrease, actual completion of a project. So it has to be measurable. It has to be attainable. We want to stretch. We want to make sure we're doing more or better than we've done before, but we don't want to make it so lofty and so high that we can't achieve that goal. It needs to be relevant to what we do in our job, and it needs to be time bound. So make sure that your goals fit those descriptions, or else you'll be frustrated at the end of the year because you won't be able to know if you achieved that goal or not. These additional settings and reminder settings are optional. Your priority level obviously can be low, medium, or high. You're the only one who will see that. So it's up to you how you want to do that. And then your reminder settings are important. And usually these are automatically turned on. So when you go in, they will automatically be turned on, and then you can set them however you want. Maybe you want to do 30 days before the goal is due, and then 2 weeks, and then 1 week, and then of course your overdue notice. So then you would hit next. You could also click up here to the next step, but to make sure you're on track, I would hit next. A parent goal, this is not something new, but it is a new feature that we're really excited about. Every single goal that every employee sets needs to be aligned with one of the 14 MCC strategic goals. So you're going to select strategic goal, and you're going to select this magnifying glass icon so that you can see all 14 of the MCC strategic goals. So let's say my goal needs to be implement a student-centered approach. It falls under that. Wherever your goal falls under, select that. You can see more details about these strategic goals and the strategic themes in the handout that comes along with how to set a goal in NeoEd. Then you would hit save. Now you can select up to 2 parent goals if you'd like. So again, remember, select strategic goal, select the search icon, and possibly it's remove barriers to access. So you would hit save here and then save again. So you're aligned with 2. You can do no more than 2, but you have to do 1. And then you would select next. Milestones is a new feature and it is fabulous. It is also optional, but it is a wonderful way to keep you on track. So add a new milestone. So let's say the first thing you want to do is survey a population. And of course, you would put in more details than this, but for the element of time, we're just going to, what a milestone does is it breaks your goal down into smaller pieces. So if your goal is due by December 31st, maybe you'd want this first goal done by September 19th. And again, using overdue and reminder settings. And you can set several milestones. And it's recommended that you do, especially if you have a big lofty goal that may take a year or 2 or 3 years. Breaking it down into smaller steps makes it very helpful. So here you've set your goal, you've aligned your goal, you've set your milestones, you've hit saved, and guess what? You now have a goal set in your dashboard. So we're still in our goal dashboard. So say we want to go back to the performance homepage, we'll go to the main homepage here. And again, whenever you go back to the main homepage, it's going to bring you to all of the NeoEd tasks. We're going to simply focus on perform right now. And then you can see your goal lands here on your front page. So say you have made some movement towards your goal. You can document that in a journal entry. If you don't supervise anyone, it's going to default to you. If you do supervise people, you'll need to select which employee you're making a journal entry about. And let's say we watched a webinar that will help. And of course, you would put more details here. And then you can share this with yourself and the manager and your manager's manager. It's up to you. I'm going to share it with myself for now, and I'm going to submit my journal entry. This will keep in track with my goal. And when I go to complete my evaluation at the end of the year, I can choose whether or not to put this journal entry in my goal. It will appear in my evaluation as an option to insert. You don't have to, but it's there. So this is so very helpful. So throughout the year, as you make strides towards your goal, you can simply mark the strides there. So you remember this, because a year from now, sometimes you don't always remember the steps or the journey or the frustrations or the positive moves. And it's helpful to include those in your evaluation and where it shows your goals. So you have some detail about how this goal was achieved. So that's what the journal entry is for. Your evaluations will live here when we have them. Your tasks will always appear here. So as the evaluations are coming due, you'll log in here and it will automatically show you what your next step is. Maybe it's your self-assessment. Maybe it's adding goals. Maybe if you're a supervisor, there might be several steps here for you to complete for someone you supervise. Your tasks will always live here on the home page. Your journal hub again is here. This is your goal. It's not your goal dashboard, but it's a good place to keep your goal. Where I would go for your goals is your goal dashboard, because there's more detail here and more things for you to do. As I have, as an administrator, I can edit goals, and as an employee, you can edit goals too, but it will be maybe more in adding milestones, and you'll be limited as to what you can edit, because we want our goals to remain authentic as we set them. If there does need to be changes, you can always contact the training and development manager for changes as such. But it's a very simple process. It is a very intuitive and very helpful. So always just remember, live in the performance. In your goal dashboard, your tasks will live here. Your goals will live here, journal entries here, and your goal dashboard is a great place to start. As we roll out more features, there will be more, and there will be helpful videos to walk you through this.